led by Indigenous Australians, and they've done a fantastic job. But we must do better. Thank you.
I call the member for Herbert.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I'd also like to start by thanking the Prime Minister and the Opposition Leader for their Closing the Gap speech today. I'd also like to thank the Minister for Indigenous Australians, Ken White, and the Shadow Minister for Indigenous Australians, Linda Burney. And I stand with everyone in this place to congratulate and honour your leadership in this space. And I know that this is not a time for political point scoring or mudslinging. This is a time where we will need to be working together. I come from Herbert and Townsville. I have a lot of Indigenous Australians in my electorate, but more importantly, my wife is a very proud Indigenous Aboriginal woman. And my mother-in-law, born on Palm Island and then moved to Yarrabah, now lives in Cairns, also a very, very passionate person who likes to keep me in check. And it doesn't matter what the topic, she will call me and let me know. And it is a hard task, but she's with my wife this week helping out because I have a 2-year-old, but I also have another daughter on the way who's due in April. So I have some very proud Aboriginal women in my life. Whether it's my daughter running around, dancing, or she's pretending she's Elsa of Frozen, or she's just watching TV and just being trouble, really, who can really wrap her dad around her finger. I honestly believe that we need to be working together in this space, because when I look around and I look at the Shadow Minister, I see a leader and I see a role model for my daughter. I see a role model for my daughter from all the very strong, independent, very powerful women in this place, because I want her to grow up and have a future, not just in Townsville, but not just because she's a very proud Aboriginal woman, but because in this place we all work together for our First Nations people. And my future daughter on the way, I'd like her to think and feel the same. In the electorate of Herbert, we have Palm Island, Great Palm Island, and the people that live there, they definitely will let you know how they feel and what they want and what we can do better. For a while now, Palm Island hasn't had clean drinking water. We're working closely, and I know the Minister's working very closely with his counterpart at the state level, Jackie Tradd, because this isn't about federal government or state government or coalition or people in the opposition fighting each other, or to go into the media to stand up there and say, look at what we're doing, we do things better than you. I don't believe that is the case, nor should it be. I know that the Shadow Minister keeps the Minister to account. I know. I've seen the Shadow Minister walk the hallways over there in the blue carpet, and so she should, because that's the role of the opposition. It's the role of the state governments and the federal government and every person in my electorate. But Palm Island is something that is so close and dear to my heart, and I'm there next week. But we need to be always doing better. Always. We can always do better. It doesn't matter if you're reading a report and you think it's excellent, there's always something else. There's always something more that we can work together as Australians. First Nations, non-First Nations, people that have come from other countries that call Australia home now. We are all Australians, and we should be working together, because I know that that's the most important thing in this country. People don't like us fighting, throwing mud at each other, pointing fingers. There's a difference between holding people to account and just slinging mud. Then our First Nations people and Indigenous Australians are one thing that we should definitely not be using for political point scoring at all. And I would like the Shadow Minister to come to Townsville and we can go to Palm Island together. And of course the Minister's been up multiple times and he'll come back. And this is where we stand next to each other and we talk about the great things that we can be doing, not just in my electorate, but in all of Australia. It's just more personal to me, obviously it's because where I'm from and my family's there. But this is the time where we stand side by side. And I understand that people aren't happy with certain things in reports, and that's fine. But this is the time where all Australians and every person in this place has a duty to stand next to each other, to work together, to ensure that our First Nations people have the best lives they deserve. And I thank Deputy Speaker, both ministers, Shadow Minister, for allowing me time to speak on this. Thank you.